Oh, man, what a game it was. Eagles hold on to beat the Green Bay Packers 10-7 in a defensive football game tonight. Holy cow, man. Uh, what else can we say about this game tonight? I personally felt like Patullo wasn't his best game tonight. And I'm going to say that it was Patullo because some of the play calls that were called in this game tonight, you have to get on Patullo about this, and Sirianni, both. I mean, I felt like they didn't try enough on third down to try to complete. If it was more than 6 yards, they ran the ball, and to me, you can't do that. You got to start trying, especially in a defensive game like it was. It was nothing at halftime. Um, you know, really the play that kind of spurred on this Eagles touchdown tonight was by the was a 40-yard catch and run by Barkley again tonight, getting down there, and then the bomb to Devontae Smith. Um, I'll tell you what, this kid is special. And I'm sorry, AJ Brown. I'm going to call AJ Brown out. That last play, we've seen him go. It looked like he didn't even try for the ball. I'm sorry, it did not look like he even tried for that ball. Tell me I'm wrong, but if you go back and look at that play, that's a play AJ Brown makes. That was a 50-50 ball, and that defensive back, never even looked back at the ball. And AJ Brown he tried to one hand it, and to me, it looked like a lackluster effort on his part. So, um, but I'll tell you what, this right here was the Phillips game today. He gets traded over. Jaden Phillips gets traded from Miami, comes here. I thought he had the game of all games tonight. He really did. Um, Adam C's checking in, says, "Wow, low scoring defensive game." Yeah, yeah. For people who's going to say that's a bad game, no, it wasn't a bad game. You had two really good defenses playing, and I'll tell you what, the Packers defense was, the Packers defense was ranked very higher than the Eagles defense. And for the Eagles defense to match their intensity tonight, I think that showed something. And Jalen Phillips being added to this, holy cow. And I got an issue with Nick Sirianni too. You are up by 3 points in this game. You ran the clock down to 30 seconds. Is there a problem with you punting the ball inside and making them drive the length of the field? I mean, the Packers should have never been that close. I mean, that was an idiotic thought process by Nick Sirianni. And that's how I'm going to say it. It was an idiotic thought process. Yeah, let's take a bomb down to A.J. Brown, which I'm sorry, again, on that play, A.J. Brown, sorry, got to give a little better effort than that, than just throwing your left hand out there trying to catch it. That's a 50-50 ball. That's a ball for you to go up and get, man. And I don't know. To me, he looked like he was checked out of this game. And if he's going to be checked out of this game, I need him to be checked out off this team. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? It was if you watch A.J. Brown on some of his routes, he is not getting open. He is not getting open at all. So I don't want to hear people bitching about Jalen's not throwing to him. He's not getting open. It's just that plain and simple. You watch the game tonight, he had no separation on those DBs tonight. None. Star Wars saying thank you to our defense. Joe Hale says good victory. Phillips came up big. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was a bad primetime game. I'll disagree with you, Star Wars. That was a defensive game, and that was a really, really good defensive game. You got to take your hat off to Green Bay's defense because they really kind of held this Eagles offense in check. They held Barkley in check for most of the game. Mikey Papernick Jr. checking in. Mikey, listen, I hear you. I hear you. Adam C. saying Brown looking uninterested tonight. Maybe he wants out. Well, good. If he wants out, he's going to have to wait till the end of the season, Adam. I don't care. He's here to win a Super Bowl. I guarantee you if they win a Super Bowl without him they can't win a Super Bowl without him being engaged. So something's going to have to give. there. We're the only team that won this week in our division. Yes, you are right. 7-2. We are back up to the top spot. Sirianni is Robbie 2.0 with the analytics to control him. I'm not going to say he's as bad as Robbie, Mike. Come on now. He did something Robbie hasn't done yet, which is win a Super Bowl. So he's won a championship and he's been to 2. So I mean, Robbie got the 1 World Series and hasn't sniffed it since. So you can't call him Robbie 2.0 when he's won one. So, but this game tonight, again, if you're looking at the offensive prowess, I thought the Packers had no answer for Dallas Goedert. I really do. I thought they didn't have no I thought they had no answer for him. They started kind of dropping down. They started dropping a different guy on Goddard a little bit, but I would have found more ways to try to get him open. You know what I mean? Adam saying, is AJ still hurt? I don't know. Apparently he was good enough to go today. So I mean, if he's still hurt, sit him. Sit him. I know they did lose the kid Cooper tonight. He got dinged up and somehow on this game, but he did. All Jalen does is win. You got that right. He really does. And I'm waiting to see now who they have coming up. I thought Robbie was the head coach with the decision going for 4th down. Mike, you and me both, man. I'm watching this game. I'm like, are you serious? You're really going to go for this? This close? I thought they were trying to draw him off sides because it was 4th and 6. So if they draw him off sides, then it's only a tush push away. Which, by the way, I love the fact that they went for the tush push tonight. It was great. They did it in their house, and it was great. Of course, people are going to bitch and say, oh, the Eagles were offsides. So was Green Bay on their quarterback sneak. That they were offsides. They were offside 3 times. They got caught once. So, but this Eagles game tonight, man, I'll tell you, not good numbers, man, and that's all I'm going to say. If you're looking at the stats in this game, holy cow, man. The stats in this game are not good, and I'm just going to let you know that now. We're going to look at here. Basically, it didn't turn out half bad, honestly. Jalen was 15 of 26 for 183 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love was 20 for 36 for 176 yards. Barkley, 22 carries for 60 yards. Josh Jacobs, 21 carries for 75 yards. Devontae Smith, 4 receptions, 69 yards. Christian Watson, where was he at? I think he had Christian Watson. Yeah, 2 catches, 45 yards. Devontae Wicks had 5 catches. You figure Josh Jacobs had over 100 yards because he had 75 yards in rushing. He had another 33 in catches. He had 5 catches for 33 yards tonight. So, I mean, that was a pretty good game by them. Barkley had 3 catches for 41 yards. Goddard with 4. Devontae with 4. A.J. Brown, 2 catches, 13 yards. Will Shipley, 2 catches, 17 yards. Jahan Dotson, and Grant Calcaterra weren't even in the mix. Kobe Dean had a sack. Jalix Hunt had a sack. And Nolan Smith had a sack. Eagles with 3 sacks on the night. I do not believe, I'm going to go down here and take a look. I do not believe, no. That big, bad, vaunted Packers defense did not get to Jalen Hurts not one time tonight. So I want you to think about that for a second. Banged up offensive line. Okay. Banged up offensive line. Okay. Also, you can take a look and see that banged up offensive line. Lane Johnson was out for an extraordinary period of time. You have LaShawn Gary on one side, Michael Parsons on the other. They didn't sniff Jalen Hurts at all. Came close a couple times. But they never sacked him. They never sacked him in this game. And that's without Cam Jurgens. Then you lose Lane Johnson. You have 2 starters out. And you have one that's an all-world. And they held their own in this game. So, I mean, for this, it was really This was it was a gutsy win for the Eagles. There's stuff they got to clean up. Having 2 weeks to prepare for the Packers offensively, I felt like they should have utilized Dallas Goedert a lot more in the passing offense. They tried to get AJ going early, which they did. They threw it to him twice on the opening series for them, but they really didn't go back to him until the end of the game. But if you're looking at it, AJ Brown wasn't getting open. Like there wasn't nothing that you could see going down the field where it was wide open with him. So again, I'm waiting to see what happens like this. So let's see here. Where's that? Mike Kaepernick checking in. He goes, I like to see Jalen Pooch punt like Randall. One sack. I don't know what you're referring to there. Nope, there was 3 sacks tonight. Star Wars. I just named off the guys who got sacks. So yeah. If you were looking for offense tonight, you were disappointed. I was. I actually put 2 bets in for tonight's game. One of them was 41-19 Eagles. The other one was 41-21 Eagles. I thought that they were going to put up points tonight. I really, truly did. And they didn't. They did not. I was. So, no, your sacks for the Eagles were, and I'll give it to you right here, Nakobe Dean, Jalix Hunt, and Nolan Smith Jr. They're your 3 sacks. So, there's your 3 sacks. Go look at the game highlight, or go look at the game thing. Jalix Hunt had the best one on their opening drive. He dropped them for like a 5-yard loss. So thoughts on how Brandon Graham looked? I thought he looked okay. He's out of game shape a little bit, Joe, but for the most part, he caused havoc. He caused a little bit of havoc out there. Jaden Phillips is the truth, though. And I think with him getting on this line, you saw how this line played tonight. If we can keep him healthy, man, that's the only thing that's the only thing I could say. You got to keep him healthy because if he goes down, this Eagles defense, Nolan Smith got that sack, but, you think it would have been a different game if Tucker was in for Green Bay? Oh, most definitely, Adam Cease. That's Love's security blanket right there. It definitely, I think, would have been a different game. Tucker Kraft's a good tight end. So, but you could also say the game would have been different if Cam Jurgens started for the Eagles and they had their full complement of offensive line. So, and if Lane didn't get hurt in this game. So, yeah, if the Eagles play tonight offensively like this against Detroit, you know what, Mike? I'm not even going to – Green Bay's got a better defense than Detroit. I'm going to say that right here, right now. They have a better defense than Detroit. Detroit's defense is shitty. I don't care what anybody says. They let Marcus Mariota get 22 points on them. Okay? I'm not sold on Detroit's defense. They're shitty. They got a couple good safeties. They do. They have a couple good safeties. And they got Aiden Hutchinson. But in the middle there, they're shitty. I'm sorry. But yeah, I will agree with you. Patullo's got it. So I don't know if Sirianni's got to start calling it again or something. Like, you got to take it out of his hands because to me, he was ass backwards tonight. He really was. And it was kind of confusing where if it was more than 3rd and 6 and longer, man, he's just giving up running the ball. I mean, I guess it's okay, live to punt another down, but you can't do that all the time. You got to take a shot. And you saw what the Packers were doing. The Packers were bringing 9 guys up to the box. They were bringing at least 8 guys up to the box to try to stop Barkley. And never once. This is why I said Dallas Goedert should have had more of an impact on this game. Now, he led the team in receptions tonight. I think he had, 6 receptions? Dallas Goedert? No, only 4. 4 receptions for 43 yards. They needed to go back to him a little more. Now, I think he had 6 targets because there was a couple of them that he missed. But still, I feel like they should have targeted him a little bit more. A.J. Brown, I don't know. Maybe he is still hurt and not 100%. I don't know. But, to have 2 weeks to prepare for a team and you come out. Now, granted, you have to give Green Bay's defense top 3 in the league. Believe it or not, they're like number 3. in the league. So, yeah, you got to kind of tip your cap to him a little bit, but I felt like there were some plays that were left on this field that could have been there and could have been playing. This offense was horrible, I will say. Nah, Mike, I'm going to disagree. I don't say it was horrible. The play calling was horrible tonight. I mean, Hurts missed one pass. That was Katera coming down the middle. He overshot him. And the one to Devontae. Those two passes where Devontae kind of like short hopped it to Devontae. Yeah, I could agree with you there on that one. But as far as vanilla, I agree with you. Patullo's got to do something, man. Patullo has to do nothing. All this talent in the Eagles offense, it's like watching paint dry. Well, listen, Mike, you got to tip your cap, man. They rolled through everybody a year ago. This is a different team, and guess what? People have tape now on that team and what you do and what you don't do well. So it's just them making adjustments. And right now, just think about this for a second. The Eagles haven't played their best 4 quarters of football yet. They're 7-2. They haven't. I mean, Maddie's going to come over here and say I'm being homerish, but it's the truth. They have not played their best 60 minutes of football. From minute 1 to minute 60, they have not played a full 60 minutes, and they're 7-2. I mean, and they're hitting the title stretch of their, the second part of their hard. They had the first part of their schedule was hard. They had a couple. Everybody thought there was a couple breaks in between with with the Giants game sandwiched in between the Broncos and, but I don't know. Source says I only seen Nolan Smith. Yeah, okay, yeah, I hear you, Star Wars. Yeah, but there was 2 other sacks. Dean got to him on one, and Dean got to him on the fumble, so he had a sack and a fumble. That's why they counted that as a sack fumble. And then Jalen Hunt had one in the beginning of the game. Mike said, I'm not sold on this vanilla offense. Again, it's feast or famine with the Eagles, man. If you really look at it, it really is. They'll struggle, and then they'll go and play a good defense like Minnesota. And tonight, like they got a long pass against the Packers. The Packers don't give up long passes. They really, truly don't. So for them to do that, have a good night. Star Wars, you getting off, buddy? Yeah, they need to take more shots downfield. When they're there, Adam, yeah, when they're there, it seemed like the only one who was getting open downfield, really, honestly, was Goddard. I thought got open a lot down the field tonight. I thought him and Smith got open down the field. A.J. Brown disappeared tonight. I don't want to hear that they weren't trying to get him. They threw it to him twice on the opening drive. Okay? I don't know what it is, but from what I've seen of him on replays, he was not getting separation. And Jalen took a shot on that 4th down play, which, by the way, was horrible. They should have punted and made them go down the field. Sirianni can't call offense, so please. He is horrible. I say, come on, dude. As a consultant, they're not going to bring nobody in now, dude. They're going to bring somebody in the offseason if they're going to do that. If they're going to bring somebody in, they're going to do that. We were saying the same thing. This is not 2023. Look at the teams that they were playing in 2022, and look at the teams they're playing now. They're playing all top-tier teams, dude, that they're beating. So I don't want to hear the 2023 comparison because this isn't – the 2023 team didn't have a defense that could stop anybody at all. Remember Matt Patricia? And what was the guy that Sean Desai? Those were the guys coaching in 2023. This team, no. I will say they're having a rough way. They're having a rough way to go with this offense. With this offensive coordinator. But again, this is his first year calling plays. I think as it moves along, it'll get better. It'll get better. You gotta let them work through. Again, with all these issues, they are 7-2. And I'm sorry, the Eagles defense tonight went head-to-head with the Packers defense tonight. Remember, this is the same Packers team that, they gave up 40 to Dallas. Okay? They're not, they gave up 40 to the Cowboys. Okay, but other than that, they've been in every game. Dude, they gave up 16 points a week ago. Think about that for a second. Their defense, and they gave up 10 points, I think. Yeah, I think it was 10 points. They gave up to either 10 or 13 points they gave up to the Browns. They've been really, really, this Packers defense has been really good all year. And for them to not have a sack tonight with Lane being out, and now, with Lane being out for half of the game, and he came back in, not at 100%. No Cam Jurgens with Brett Toth. And Michael Parsons didn't get nowhere near him. Every time Parsons thought he had a clear shot, either Jalen would run away from him or he'd dip up inside and run around him. Well, Sean Gary was invisible tonight. Invisible. The only time he even had something good is when they came up, when Fred Johnson came and took over for Lane, that first play. Kind of pushed Big Fred back a little bit. Other than that, Eagles line did a good job tonight. Cowboy Dave checking in. It said it was a defensive game on both sides. Love could not get in rhythm all night. Defensive games are fun to watch. I agree with you on that one, Mike. Yeah, they are, Dave. I love it. And you know what? Sometimes they say defense wins championships, right? I want you guys to take a think on this. Look at the quarterbacks that the Eagles have beaten so far. And I will say this. If they're getting that type of push, Jordan Love can move and mobilize a little bit. Think about in 6 days when they play Jared Goff. He's not going to be able to get out of the way like that. And again, I'll take this defensive line and our offense against the Lions. I'm saying it now on this postgame show. I watched the Lions play last week. I also watched them 2 weeks ago get manhandled by Minnesota. Manhandled. They talk about playing bully ball until they play bully ball. Again, until bully ball gets played against them. So, again, I'm not worried about that game on Sunday. I think if that game was in Detroit, I might give the edge to the Lions. This game's here. It's outdoors. No. Thanks for coming. You're next on the list. So I look at it like this. I didn't think this game was going to be close. I really didn't. I thought the Eagles' offense would be in tune and go. Again, I didn't realize how good this Packers defense was. And I will say this: Packers not having their full complementary of wide receivers. They lose Romeo Doubs in this game. It's something, man. They just can't catch a break. They really can't. I mean, they got Dobbs went out. They got Kraft that went out. I can't remember the other wide receiver who's really, really good for them. Christian Watson just got back. So, Golden, the young kid that they drafted this year, he was out tonight too, Matthew Golden. So, Packers were down a lot of people tonight. They basically had Josh Jacobs, Romeo Doubs, and Christian Watson. So, and now they lost Dobbs. Don't know how long that's going to be. So, Mike says the Eagles' offense is ranked in the low 20s, is in the 20s and lower. Well, hey, look, man. It gives them something to work on, right? Would you rather be 2-7 and say they got to work on their offense, or be 7-2 and say they got to work on their offense? Again, look at the teams they're beating. Yeah, it's not nice. It's not pretty. But again, if people thought that they were going to come out and kill people this year, got another thing coming. There's a lot different when you're hunting than when you become the hunted. When you become the hunted, you're going to get everybody's best shot. I don't care who it is. That Giants team, we weren't prepared to go play them, got our ass kicked. So, again, think about that. They got, for all the problems that Green Bay had, They gave us their best shot tonight. I wish it would have been a little differently as far as both teams being completely healthy. I don't know why that receiver's name is uh I can't remember his name. He's been off the field for a while. I think he got hurt in the beginning of the year. But damn good wide receiver for them. He goes, all this offensive talent and this offense is ranked in, it's also the legally 3 and out. That's a problem. It is. It is. It's a combination. Like, I'm not saying that this offense isn't flawed. It is flawed. But you have to look at the bigger overall picture in this. Okay? They're scoring enough points to win these games. And right now, they're playing the best of the best. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, they blocked 2 field goals against the Rams. Guess what? The Rams blew a 26-7 lead in that game. I don't want to hear that. Okay? Just like people don't want to hear that the Eagles blew a 14-point lead to the Broncos. Right? It's okay when the Eagles blow a 14-point lead, but if they come back from a 19-point lead, it's luck. But when the other team and the Eagles give up that 14-point lead, oh, it wasn't luck. It was that team. That team came back, right? Nah, can't have it both ways on that. So, yeah, I will say that. He said, I love defensive games, but you need offense to win. Again, Mike, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. But, so this is how this offense has been all year. You have to take your hat off and tip your cap to the Packers. The Packers got a top 3 defense this year. They have a top 3 defense for a reason. They don't give up points. They had one hiccup in that kiss your sister tie with the Cowboys, where they let Dak somehow get 40 points. Other than that, their defense has been stellar. Matter of fact, here I'll take a look at their games because they don't give up many. They don't give up many games. Let's see. Let's go back here. Okay, they gave up 13. They gave up 13 to the Lions, 18 to the Commanders. They gave up 13 to the Browns, 40 to the Cowboys, 18 to the Bengals. They gave up 23 to the Cardinals, 25 to the Steelers, 16 to the Panthers, and 10 to the Eagles tonight. It's pretty stellar defense, man. Pretty stellar defense. Eagles got bullied and smashed by the Giants, but it's okay. No, I'm agreeing with you. They got bullied by the Giants. That's the point I'm trying to make, man. I'm trying to make that point. That sometimes you can listen. The Eagles took the Giants lately, and they got their ass kicked. Trust me, I did the post game on that show, and that was the first thing I said. You didn't take your team. You didn't take your opponent. You didn't take them. You took them lightly. You got your ass kicked. But the response was when they played them 2 weeks later, what happened? Eagles asserted their bulliness and bullied them right back. So, yeah. And it was a shame that Kid Scatterboo got hurt. Speaking of that, too, NFL news today, Brian Daboll out as Giants head coach. So, our old buddy Mike Kafka, that's right, remember him? Former Eagles great quarterback Mike Kafka will take over as interim coach. So, I wonder how long Dan Quinn is I wonder if his seat's getting hot yet. So, Eagles lead the league in 3-and-outs. That is acceptable. And that's acceptable with this offense. I don't know what point you're trying to make, Mike. I never said it was acceptable. I said they got things to work on. You know what I mean? But again, when you're changing offensive coordinators every year, that's going to happen. And, I don't really see teams lining up if the Eagles should go back and win a Super Bowl. I don't see teams lining up to go get Kevin Patullo. I really don't. So hopefully they can build some more continuity. And a lot of people remember Shane Steichen's first year here, right? Wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. People were calling for his job too. It was his second year with Hurts when he finally started doing something. Packers did drop a lot of balls tonight too. Yeah, but I think both sides did, Dave. Too many excuses for the Eagles offense. They have a top 3 wide receiver duo, the best running back in the NFL, and the offense can't score points. Like when they go against a top 3 defense, it's going to happen. Like we really can't bitch and complain about the last 2 games. The Eagles put up points, but the defenses weren't as good. Minnesota's got a pretty decent defense. I'm going to bring up let me see right here. Oh, here he comes. I already know. Come on. I already know you want to jump in. Here he goes. Right there. I love our commander in chief. He's just gotta come in here and drop it on me. I love Matty B to death. Matty, I love you. I can't wait to hear what he thought of this game. Other than I'm waiting for him to blame Jalen for something. Like I said, Jalen did have a couple bad throws tonight. Especially like I said, the one for Calcaterra. He hits him in stride, dude. He's going. He is going. But it is what it is with this one. Maddie screwed me up there. Guys, special Happy Valley Huddle tomorrow morning. That's right, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I will be on live recapping that heartbreaking loss in Happy Valley for the Penn State Nittany Lions as they look forward now as they travel to East Lansing to go play Michigan State on Saturday. So, again, I will be on tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. For that. And then you get a double dose of me because tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, that's right, me and Paul are back as Props, Locks, and Parlays. You will see how we did this week on there. So I cannot wait to get on here. And then we'll be looking ahead to see what the lines are looking like next week. So make sure you tune in for that as well. So tomorrow I got you covered. And you get enough. If you don't get enough of me over tomorrow, guess what? I got you on Wednesday as well as the Flyers host the Oilers. And Matty B gets a double dose this weekend, Friday and Saturday. I am jealous because that Flyers Stars game is going to be sick. So I cannot wait. And guys, also, we have the Fightins final. That's right. The post game, but this is going to be a wrap. It's going to be a season in review show. It will air on Thanksgiving. So we will be doing it. We're going to do a special presentation of that. We should be getting around to it within the next week or so, I believe, to do the taping on that. So make sure you guys look out. It will be for Thanksgiving Day as we get ready for it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, nope. I already read that one. That's the craziest thing anything can come up with is the excuse there. You know what? Hey, Maddie's awesome. I will give him this. We are different, but I want to know what Maddie thinks now because they went out and got Jalen Phillips. I thought Jalen Phillips had a hell of a game tonight. So it's looking good. And to play against that team tonight, the way they looked, I got a question for everybody. You guys sold on Jordan Love. I always hear how much people think he's better than Hurts. My man tonight looked frazzled. I mean, that Eagles D-line was getting to him tonight. When he did have time, he kind of overthrew a lot of people. He did have some drops, but he overthrew a lot of people. I'm actually, when I get off of here, I'm actually going to go listen to their press conference and just see, like, if they're killing him or not. Because, is it me or is it the wide receivers that make that quarterback? Because I'll tell you what, Josh Jacobs bailed him out a couple times tonight too. So my wife, who is a Green Bay Packers fan, don't kill her, but she is a Packers fan. She was screaming at the TV at Jordan Love because he was holding on to the ball too long. So, again, well, guys, that's going to do it for me. Final score, Eagles 10, Packers 7. There's a lot to clean up. And I'll tell you what, Mike Papernick brought it up. They got to get that offense on track. I like where the defense is. But I think there is definitely how come the Eagles can't bring in an offensive consultant for fans? Oh, I'm not. Hey, Mike, you're right. Maybe they can. I just don't know if they're going to. I don't know if they're going to. You know what I mean? I would love to see them bring somebody in to help Jalen out because I don't think it's just. I think it's a combination of Hurts and the coordinator because some of those once tonight, and I don't want to hear Jalen can't throw the ball over the middle. He was throwing the ball over the middle a lot tonight. So that whole narrative that he can't throw the ball over the middle, BS. BS. Threw it over the middle of the night. He wasn't just trying to throw it to the outsides. And like I said, that ball, A.J. Brown went for on fourth down. He didn't give it his all. Go back and look at it. I saw the replay. I'm going, wow. That was a 50-50 ball that A.J. Brown comes up with. And he just looked like he was not in it. I don't know if he's still hurt or maybe he might have re-aggravated his hamstring injury. I don't know. But, he's a great show, Mike. Thank you, man. Thank you, Michael. You're one of the reasons why I come on and do this, buddy. Doug, I did. I saw that. But let me ask you a question. If you're Nick Sirianni, you bringing in the coach that was here before you to be a consultant? Who knows? I mean, they may. That might be a Howie thing. Howie might be like, look, this offense ain't getting it done. So it'll come from somewhere. But they got to clean some stuff up. And like I said, fortunately, they're playing the Lions this week. And the Lions, the middle section of their defense, they got great safeties. They do. They have great safeties with Branch and the kid from Georgia. Brian Branch and who's the other one that they got? They got two really good safeties. They got Aiden Hutchinson on the line. He's really good. But other than that, their defense is shitty. And the Eagles should be able to exploit them. Now, what their offense brings is a statue. If they can get pressure on Jared Goff, it's going to be a long day. I watched that Minnesota game, and Brian Flores laid the blueprint on how to attack him. So, Nick sucked it up. It's about winning. It's his favorite line. Stafford looked really good against. Yes, he did, Dave. Did he not? You want to talk about going into a place and Matthew Stafford, man, holy cow. That Ram team is going to be a hard out. So is that Seahawk team, believe it or not. Oh, the only thing I'm not worried about is they got Sam Darnold as their cornerback, and Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold until I see him win in the postseason. But I'll tell you what, they are going to be, man, that Seattle team's that defense is no joke. That's probably the best defense in the NFC is that Seattle defense. The Lions have two good running backs. Yeah, but you know what? You know how you neutralize the run? You know how you neutralize the Lions? You get up on them. If you get up on them, you can't. My mom's checking in. Love is a bum. Well, listen. I'm going to say this, Love, or your mom. Somebody made a YouTube channel called Your Mom. It's great. Love had his chances tonight. He really did. That Packers defense, man, let me tell you. Packers defense is as advertised. Jalen Hurts completed 4% in the middle of fifth. Oh, here we go. Fraudulent. I guess everything tonight was his fault, Maddie, right? It was his fault. Hold on. He wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. I think he missed 9 throws out of the whole game, I believe. Let me go in and double check. I think it was 15 for 26 tonight, right? Yeah, 15 for 26, 183 yards, and a touchdown. Your mom says, I live in Wisconsin. He's fraudulent. Really? So you're a Packers fan, then I take it. Okay. Well, cool. Welcome to the Birds Flyby. My wife is a Packers fan, So I'm gonna have to hear a ration of shit when I get off of this. So because she's been cheering. Mikey didn't get the hurts as much as I thought he would. Makes me think he's not 100%. I don't know, Dave. They were kind of weird with him tonight. Defense has been keeping us in games. Can't even score 2 touchdowns to win a game. Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this too. I can't remember the wide receiver that you guys lost early on in the season. He's probably your best wide receiver. His name is escaping me, and I don't know why. Losing Dobbs and Kraft. I know you guys lost Kraft last week. I can't remember the wide receiver you guys lost early on in the season. So if you can let me know who that is, that would be great. I can't remember the kid's name. Reed. Yes. That kid is awesome. So again, tonight you guys had a lot of guys out. Wicks was kind of a game time decision for you guys. You know, I think you guys need to trade one of them wide receivers. Excuse me. I really do. You guys need to get some draft capital back from one of them guys because you got too many wide receivers. Between now, you got the kid Golden, Matthew Golden, Reed when he comes back, Watson, and then you also got Kraft when he comes back. Like you're not going to be able to throw the ball to all of them, man. So I can imagine the Packers are probably going to move on from a couple of those wide receivers. But yeah, Reed is amazing. So no Reed and Kraft is brutal. Yeah, it is. And then you guys lost Dobbs tonight too. So I mean, it's kind of underhanded, but that's this time of year. You know what I mean? And I just look at it like this. To me, this game, the Eagles having 2 weeks to prepare, that's what doesn't sit well with me tonight. They tried to get the running game going with Barkley, but I felt like the key to this game was for Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert should have been used a lot more in this. The first 43 plays were run. I don't know if we even need a wide receiver. Yeah, LaFleur was doing some odd stuff today too. Like he was going for it early of 4th downs too. Like he was kind of out of his character. I've seen a couple Green Bay games this year, probably 3 of them, and he's really kind of last 2 weeks. He's been like kind of out of his head. I don't know if he's trying to get that going. Micah usually takes over the last 5 minutes of the game. I really didn't see that happening tonight. Well, Dave, that's because Lane Johnson was on the other side. They even tried to line him up on Lane Johnson after he came back into the game, and he still didn't get nowhere. I'll tell you where he did have success, though. They had success when they would move him to the middle. When they had him going over Tyler Steen, Micah was getting pressure. And he also got pressure on Mailata, too, a couple times. Mailata, I thought, had a bad game tonight, too. Like, he's bad. What's with y'all going for it on 4th? I don't know. Our coach is a moron. I was yelling about that in here. Like, I have no idea. You just had to play with your food or what? Comment of the night right there. Oh, holy cow. Guys, listen. If you like your mom, you're always welcome to come tune in. I will be talking tomorrow. That's right. Happy Valley Huddle. It's a recap of the Penn State football game from this past Saturday as they lost a heartbreaker to Indiana. We're going to go over that and look ahead to Michigan State coming up. And then that'll be at 10 a.m. tomorrow because I'm actually off from work. So that's why that's why I got moved there. And tomorrow night, me and Paul are back for Props, Locks, and Parlays as we look ahead to next week for all the latest lines and odds and everything on, college and pro football as we give you our picks and probably run a couple player props to take a look at. So make sure you guys check in. And of course, the mayor, the man, the myth, the legend, 9:00. He follows us. That's Matty B. I'm pretty sure he'll be wound up with the Homer Emporium and everything else here tonight. So make sure you guys tune into the one Matty B as he will guide you through the night and my favorite segment of his show, this day in Philadelphia sports history. So, sorry guys, had to wet the whistle there. They just knew Love had a gun to his head. He wasn't scoring. Great show, Mike. Well, thank you again, Adam. It says W show, good win. Thanks, your mom. Yo, I want you to check in with us, okay? You check in with me. I want to know what's going on in Packerland. You're going to be my Packers correspondent right here on It's a Wrap Sports. So make sure you check in. Even if you just check in and go, hey, we won. So, or hey, we lost. I want you checking in with me. All right, your mom? Jets got their second win of the season. Yeah, they did. And that was a weird game. If you guys I had Red Zone on, and that Cleveland game, Dylan Gabriel's god awful. And I don't know why they won't start Shedeur Sanders. But the Bills, yeah, I don't want to hear about Josh Allen. Yeah, I want to. Where's all the Josh Allen hate at? If Jalen Hurts had the game that Josh Allen had yesterday, oh my God, he'd be getting killed. He'd be getting killed. Mr. MVP. Oh my God, dude, he looked like he looked like a backup quarterback yesterday against a shitty Dolphins team. You think it's bad? Watch next week, early in the morning. Dolphins are playing the Commanders over in Spain. Watch the Commanders go beat them next week. He said he played like a fraud. He was a fraud. I love Josh Allen and Holy, but he made Tua look like Mahomes, didn't he? He did. They stopped running the ball. Stop running the ball. You got James Cook back there. You don't want to run the ball. So glad the Bills lost. I live around those fraud fans. Mike, that's got to be crazy, dude. You live in upstate New York. As much as we knew each other from our time living in Philly, for you, my buddy, living up there, I know it's got to be nuts. I went to Erie last year around early December for work. Erie got hit with like 5 feet of snow. I got sent up there to go help get rid of it. Man, met a lot of guys from Buffalo that were like stranded there that were Bills fans. Holy cow. They kept saying, oh, yeah, we can't wait to play you guys in February. They thought they were going to the Super Bowl. I was like, ooh, man. Commanders are falling, Mike. You know that. Yeah, they are. They are, Dave. But, any given Sunday. And I'm not sold on that. Just because, they beat Buffalo, it doesn't mean, Tua will go out and throw 4 interceptions this game. The Bills up here act like they won 20 Super Bowl. The fans up there, Jesus. They win every game and give Cook like 20 carries. So we should stop giving him carries. Fire McDermott. Fire Brandon Beane. Hey, look, if they want to get rid of Sean McDermott, trust me, there'll be a place down here from when Vic Fangio retires. Trust me. Sean McDermott will come back here in a heartbeat. All right, guys. Well, it has been good. It has been real. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I want to thank you all for your comments. Don't forget, join me Happy Valley Huddle, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Final score, Eagles 10, Pack 7. Eagles move to 7-2, tied now at the top of the NFC East with those Seattle Seahawks. And the Rams ain't too far behind them either. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC. We'll have to wait and see. All right, your mom. Yo, you better check back in with me, too. Let me know about the Packers from here on out since you're up there in Wisconsin. So, Sean McDermott. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, tell me about it, right? Thank you, good friend. And stay warm up there, Michael. It's supposed to be getting cold up there in upstate New York. Guys, I am out. Again, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the Happy Valley Huddle, 10 a.m. Until then, y'all have a good night.